Hello, my fantasy friends. I'm the Raging Redhead Cam Stewart from HotRoster today, and with the NBA All-Star festivities set to kick off in a few short days, tonight's slate in the association features 28 teams in action. That means there's going to be plenty of matchups to choose from on HotRoster, so to help you get started, I'm here to highlight some of my favorites for tonight and pick who's going to go win them. So let's get into it. One of the biggest matchups expected to be featured on HotRoster tonight pits a couple of reserves for the All-Star game against each other. Isaiah Thomas of the Celtics opens up as a 1.5-point favorite against Kawhi Leonard of the Spurs in what should be a hotly contested battle. Thomas has been on fire, now having scored 20 points or more in 39 straight games. I would expect that trend to continue tonight when the Celtics are at home to the Sixers. Philly gives up on average 106 points per game, which is probably why Thomas has averaged 30.5 points on his own in his only 2 contests against them this season. And although these types of numbers are always difficult to go against, I'm going to go with Leonard in this matchup. Kawhi's production has really taken off since Pau Gasol went down. Over the 11 games he's played without Gasol, Leonard is averaging close to 30 points with 6 boards and 4 assists to boot. Plus, in each of the last 4 starts, Leonard has cleared the 30-point threshold. Tonight, the Spurs are in Orlando for a date with the Magic, which should allow another huge night for the San Diego State Aztec. Orlando is right up there with Philly. They give up on average 106 points per game too, while also ranking 22nd defensively. That's why, given similar circumstance and opportunity, I'm taking the pooch, rough Leonard for the win. Another matchup on the card places the Big Penguin against Godzilla. Okay, maybe these nicknames suck, but either way, HotRoster is making Andre Drummond, aka the Big Penguin, a 2.5-point favorite against Rudy Gobert, aka Godzilla. And naturally, you guys know me, I'm tempted to take the pooch here. Over his last 11 games, Gobert has been dominant, having averaged 13 points, 12 rebounds, and a couple of blocks in that span. The problem is, Drummond, he's been even better and has a wicked matchup tonight. Over that same span of 11 games, Drummond has averaged 16 points, 15 boards, and 2 steals. And tonight, the Big Penguin and his Pistons are at home to the Dallas Mavericks, who are going to be without Andrew Bogut. This makes Dallas a little less tough on the interior and should pave the way for Drummond to have a huge night. That's why, despite being a favorite, you gotta give me the Big Penguin in this HotRoster matchup. Another matchup expected to be on the cards tonight that I absolutely love features Nicholas Batum of the Hornets going up against Devin Booker of the Suns. This tilt opens up with Batum as a 1-point favorite, which I have to say surprises me a little bit. Batum scored at least 20 points for only the 2nd time since January 4th in a recent game against the Clippers. Sure, it seems like he has turned a corner in February, holding a 16-point scoring average along with 5 boards and 6 dimes, but even with those numbers, Booker's been better. The former Kentucky Wildcat has averaged 23 points per game with 3 assists and 2 boards over the month of February. Plus, tonight the Suns are at home to the Lakers, a team that struggles to defend shooting guards, having allowed 22.5 points per game to players in the 2 spot. So due to Booker's better play in 2017, the higher floor he has against the Lakers, and the fact that he's an underdog in this matchup, I'm taking the Kentucky Wildcat to get it done tonight. Lastly, HotRoster is wondering whether or not Victor Oladipo will get more or less than 25.5 fantasy points tonight. And personally, I'm liking Oladipo to get over this number. I know things haven't always been pretty for Oladipo, especially recently, but he still managed to score 20 or more points in 3 of his last 5 games. Something that's likely due to the fact Russell Westbrook and the Thunder have done a better job of getting him involved. OKC has also been staggering their rotations a bit, such that Oladipo can play some point guard. Tonight, his matchup against the Knicks should bear some serious fruit. New York has allowed the 2nd most open threes in the association, something that naturally plays into Oladipo's game. He should also have no problem getting into the open court and taking the ball to the rack against a brutal Knicks team. That's why I'm loving the over for Oladipo on HotRoster. Well, that's it for today, my fantasy friends. Make sure you tune in tomorrow when we take a look at some of the matchups available on HotRoster for Thursday's slate of NHL games. And for those of you who don't know what HotRoster is, you gotta check it out. Go to HotRoster.com, download the app, give it a try. It's like no other fantasy game you've played. And then for help winning the game, check out HotRoster today with me, the Raging Redhead Cam Stewart, and my buddy Gary and Thorne every weekday at 4:30 Eastern, only on the Fantasy Sports Network. For HotRoster now, I'm Cam Stewart, and I'll see you later on.